Welcome back to the channel. We're going to discuss more Premiere Pro stuff. We're going to talk about the Ken Burns effect today. So Ken Burns is a documentary filmmaker who did the Civil War documentary a long time ago. And he's made a lot of good documentaries that you should check out. But he had this technique where he took still photographs and added motion with the camera by panning across the photograph, and it just made the still images, more interesting. So we're going to do the same thing with video clip, and I like to do this in my videos. It's probably the most requested thing that I get asked, how do you do that motion? Now some people buy these tracks that you actually mount the camera across the track, and the camera goes across and takes the video. And honestly, those things are expensive. I didn't want to buy one, so I found another way. So this is a couple of, it's one clip that I've cut here. So I've made two separate clips, two different angles, and I'm going to show you how to create this Ken Burns effect. So we use keyframes in Premiere Pro. What you want to do is select the clip in your timeline that you want to do this to, and you're going to get your picture where you want it to start. So one thing you got to wrap your head around is, if you were to pan back and forth, and if you're in the effects controller at the top here, you'll get this pane. So you want the motion effects expanded, right? And you can change position and scale. And if I just change the position here, you can see that we get this black line because we're outside of the viewing window of the camera. So in order to be able to pan across this picture without those black lines, we need to zoom in on our clip. So I'm going to do that with scale. So if I change the scale, if I move it up, then I'm zooming in on the clip. Okay, so I'm just going to try to pick something that looks kind of nice. If I want to go, say, left to right or right to left, I'm going to start, say, at one end, and then I'm going to mark my keyframe with this button here. It says toggle animation. So you click that, you can see you create a keyframe in your mini timeline for this clip. And then I'm going to move this slider over to somewhere else in the clip, and I'm going to pick out where I want the clip to end. So I'm just going to move this slider so that I'm, now you see me on the left side instead of the right side. And if you didn't have your clip, if you didn't have your timeline marker right at the end, you can just grab this keyframe and move it to the end. So that's usually what I do. I just make sure that they're one's at the start, one's at the end. And now when I play through the clip, the camera looks like it's panning across. And to me, with these guitar videos, they're kind of intimate videos. I don't want the motion to be really fast. If you're doing some other kind of video, you might want it to be fast, like an action movie or something. But with these, I just want the motion to be very subtle, and I want the motion to be kind of slow. Now, if I were to move this keyframe closer, it's going to make the same movement in less time, which means it's going to move a lot faster. And it also depends on where you set the keyframes and how far you went left and right through the clip. So this one looks pretty good. I would be happy with that. It's not moving super fast. There's nothing herky-jerky about that. And I'm in the frame the whole time, and it just looks like somebody's panning the camera across. So it's a nice effect. Now, you can do this differently. Let's look at this other clip. So I want to select that clip, and I'm going to move this all the way to the left, and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to start. So this time I'm going to go, say, up and down. So I need to zoom in a little bit. So I've got my guitar positioned in the frame. I'm going to click Position Toggle Animation. That keyframe is all the way to the left. I'm going to move this all the way to the right as far as I can, where I can still see the clip. And then I'm going to move this up with this other slider. And you don't need a lot of motion, or, I guess it depends on what kind of video you're making. But now if I play the clip, it looks like the camera is panning from a low position to a high position. And it looks really natural. It's really smooth. If you've ever tried to pan your camera yourself by holding it, okay, it can look kind of jerky and unnatural. So you want that smooth movement across the picture, and this does it automatically. You don't have to have a gimbal or special equipment. You just need a shot that that you can zoom in on and still get HD video. So that's another key, is I have shot these clips in 4K, which means that when I zoom in, if I just zoom in a little bit, I can still have a HD picture in my shot. So let's redo this one. So I'm just going to click the keyframes and delete them. So let's hit delete there. And let's reset the scale to 100. Move my picture back in. So now let's hit the scale keyframe. And then at the end, I'm going to zoom in. I'm just going to make this kind of wacky here. Zoom in a good bit. And then when I play the clip now, it is zooming in, and it's doing it really smoothly, so it looks nice. Now we're getting a little bit uncomfortably close to my guitar here, but that gives you an idea of stuff you can do. If you zoom in too much, you will lose some resolution in your picture. Okay, but you can zoom in enough to still have HD picture and be able to pan across the shot and make it look nice. All right, so that's the Ken Burns effect. I hope that helps you make better videos. Let me know what other stuff you'd like to know. I'm not an expert on Premiere Pro. I'm just sharing what I have learned, and I hope that it helps you.